to the call. May I know who all have joined the call this morning?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Mega Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Priti Dasi from Chalu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Priti Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances to our Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for calling into the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Raghunandan from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvindaksha Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mega Mataji. It's so wonderful to see you doing this service this morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your service.
Thank you, thank you.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharajas, and all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Tiffany in Pennsylvania. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances too. Thank you so much for giving the opportunity to all glories to Srila Shama Gauri Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji, every day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga and all assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashmati Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for calling in to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Is there anyone else on the call who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna, Mega.
Hare Krishna, Mega Patil Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, accept humble obeisances. This is Sukakar Krishna Das from Chennai. Always to all the devotees, always to Guru Maharaj. I could not attend last full week. I was in Govardhan Eco Village with Gauranga Prabhu and all the Raghunandan Maharaj. I pray for every one of you. The whole group in Vrindavana in Govardhan Eco Village. And thanks to give me a chance to come back to your family. Hello.
Hari Hari Prabhuji, thank you so much for praying for all of us. That is very nice of you. Please accept my humble obeisances to Kakar Krishna Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for calling in to the call, Prabhuji. And I know you have always such great questions. So thank you. Keep joining. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mata Patil Mataji. Come to Sukavar. Thank you.
Hari Bol.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all Guru Maharajas, all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Shiromani Nandarani Devdasi from Qatar. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Shiromani Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for calling into the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mega Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Very, very happy to see you. This is Preeti Vilasini Devidasi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Preeti Vilasini Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances too. Thank you so much, Mataji, for all the services. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mega Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Nala.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for calling, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mega Mataji, Dandavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol Mataji. Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for calling into the call, Mataji, and thank you for all your services. Hare Krishna.
Welcome to greeting service team, Mataji. Nice to see you. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you for the opportunity, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to assembled devotees. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna Mohini Lakshmi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mega Mataji. Dandvat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Gopinath ki jai. So happy to see you in Seva. Please come regular. Hari Hari Gauranga.
Hari Hari Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Rinda Mataji. Dandvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for calling into the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mega Mataji, Dandot Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. This is Shyama Gauridas from Srila. Thank you for taking service, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shyama Gauri Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. And it is all glories to you. You have engaged me. So thank you so much for the opportunity, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. And Hare Krishna to all devotees. And thank you such for wonderful service. This is Manisha from Charlotte, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Manisha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Is there anyone else who want to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, and all glories to assembled devotees. This is Charu from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Charu Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, Prabhuji has joined the call.
Sure. So welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we're very fortunate to have His Grace Jivana Gaur Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topics of Glories of Raghunandan Thakur, Vamshidas Babaji Maharaj, Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Gauridas Pandit, and Julan Yatra. Before I hand over Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for giving us your valuable time and association this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Glories of Raghunandan Thakur, Vamshidas Babaji Maharaj, Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Gauridas Pandit, and Julan Yatra. Before I hand over the call to you, I would like to hand over the call to the Sureshwar Sham Prabhuji for a brief introduction of Prabhuji.
Mataji, we skipped the introduction, Mataji. We will introduction, yeah.
Okay, sure, Mataji. So I hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. Please take over the call. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mega Mataji. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. I welcome all the devotees. I offer my respectful obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis in this Bhakti Sangha Java group to hear about the glories of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas. As we go on, hear the glories of this Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharya, the immediate effect that happens is that our loving propensity to Krishna goes on increasing proportionately. So they are all the dashing personalities in this age of Kali Yuga. Just by hearing the glorious holy name, their pastime, it immediately takes us to the platform of serving Lord Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whenever he used to glorify any devotee, he used to have 1,000 modes. So like that, these great Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharya, they have so much love for Krishna. They are completely engrossed, absorbed in the loving pastimes of Krishna. And if we go on, hear this Acharya's pastime, then actually we beg mercy from the lotus feet so that our heart also becomes completely filled with love for Krishna. That is our ultimate goal, Krishna Prem. So today we'll be hearing about the glorious pastimes of Raghunandan Thakur, Vamshidas Babaji, Rupa Goswami, Gauridas Pandit, and also about the Julan Yatra. Raghunandan Thakur, he is born with the right to distribute Krishna Prem. He is born with the right. And Vamshidas Babaji, not only he is known for his renunciation, but also about his sweet loving pastimes with the Lord. He used to talk with the deities. Rupa Goswami, our Rasacharya, he gives us the Rasa Tattva. Gauridas Pandit, the famous Dwadasa Gopala, Subala, and also how Krishna gives fun and entertainment in Vraja using his swing pastime. It is mutually reciprocating. Share the screen. Hope the screen is Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
I think you are sharing the full screen. You should share only presentation, because we can see all these marks and everything on top.
Prabhu, can you select the slide? Because we could see all the slides.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, Prabhuji, now perfect. Slide show, Prabhu.
Okay, so with this, so Raghunandan Thakur, he is a Khandavasi, born in Sri Khanda. Father is Mukunda Das, and Mukunda Das, Narahari Sarkar, Madhava Das, they are all from Sri Khanda. So Gaura Ganodesa Deepika says that Raghunandan Thakur, he is Pradyumna, third Chaturvyuha. So he is none other than Vishnu Tattva. We all know the glorious pastime, how Mukunda Das was thrilled by the loving devotion of Raghunandan Thakur with his family deity Gopinath. Mahaprabhu twice said, once to Advaita Acharya and also once to Mukunda Das, whoever gives devotion to Krishna, they are to be considered as the father. So in that sense, we all know in the incident when there was a family deity of Gopinath. He was continuously worshipped, defeated, and when Mukundadas went out of the home, he entrusted the deity worship to his son Raghunandan Thakur. And then he took his boga to the Gopinath deity, and he gave the plate to the Gopinath deity, and like a child asking in an innocent mood to eat, the deity started to eat without leaving any remnants, and this continued for a few days. And actually this came as a shock to Raghunandan Thakur mother, and when the message was conveyed to Mukundadas, he was hiding to see whether it was real, and he found that actually the deity was eating, and when he peeped into the door, he saw the Gopinath deity having laddu in his hand, further not eating, but the laddu was half bitten. And immediately he embraced his son Raghunandan Thakur. And Mahaprabhu, when Mukundadas visited Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri, Mahaprabhu was jokingly asking him, who is the father? Raghunandan Thakur is your father, or you are his father? And Mukundadas, without a doubt, told that Raghunandan Thakur is my father, because I learned loving devotion to Krishna from him. Mukundadas is none other than Vrinda Devi, who arranges all the loving conjugal pastimes and all Yogamaya potency arrangement, planning, commissioning, everything is done by Vrinda Devi. The same Vrinda Devi appeared in Chaitanya Leela as Mukundadas. And Mukundadas, he took up the profession of a doctor, Vaidya. Like Murari Gupta was a physician, Mukundadas was a physician, but he was a physician to Nawab Hussain Shah, who was having his kingdom, and Malda was his capital. And one day, when a peacock feather was used to fan Nawab Hussain Shah, seeing the peacock feather, Mukundadas fainted. And when Nawab Hussain Shah asked the reason, he told casually that I have the disease called as epilepsy. But Nawab Hussain Shah, already his many incurable diseases were cured by Mukundadas, and he had so high regards to Mukundadas, and immediately he could realize how exalted was Mukundadas, and he immediately gave Sri Kanda as a ruling kingdom for Mukundadas. So he became Jamindar. And this great personality, Mukundadas, Raghunandan Thakur, Narahari Sarkar, so they are all strong followers of Lord Chaitanya. They used to sing only Gaura Kirtan at Radha Yatra. All other groups used to sing Krishna Kirtan. Mahaprabhu used to stress you, please sing Krishna Kirtan. But they were so adamant, no, we will sing only your bhajans. And Mahaprabhu took sannyas at Katwa. So it is also part of Sri Kanda. And Raghunandan Thakur, he had so many miraculous pastimes. And one such miraculous pastime, we all know that the famous Gopinath deity eating the laddu. And his uncle was Narahari Sarkar. After Mahaprabhu took sannyas, Mahaprabhu came in the dream of Narahari Sarkar, ordering him to carve 3 wooden deities. The biggest wooden deity made from neem tree, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, still we can see in Katwa, Gauranga Bari. And the small deity here we are seeing here at Sri Kanda. And the medium-sized deity, it is still worshipped at Eka Chakra. So this Mahaprabhu deity is none other than Mahaprabhu. Like the holy name is different from Krishna. All the deities are non-different from the Lord, but the deity becomes special if Lord specifically orders that this deity is completely non-different from me. It means that it becomes special. So we can have darshan of this Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Narahari Sarkar carved this deity, and also we can also see a small deity of Gopinath, Radha Krishna. So this is the same Gopinath deity. We can see in one hand there is half laddu. And this is actually the temple of Narahari Sarkar residents, the Shripad, Narahari Sarkar, Mukunda Das, Madhava Das, they all resided here. And very near to this place is Madhu Pushkarini. Narahari Sarkar is Madhumati Shaki in Krishna Leela. Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, when they came here, Nityananda Prabhu ordered a huge pot of honey for him to drink. So Narahari Sarkar came to this pond. Then immediately with his yogic powers, he transferred the complete pond into honey. Even now, if you taste the water, it sweets like honey. And we all know that Balaram is very fond of drinking honey. And here at Srikanda, if we drink this pond, which resembles like honey, so we are sure to get the mercy of Gaur Nitai Gaur. The dust, the pastime places, they are all abundant mercy to reap the special kripa of Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. And for those who are humble and those who feel that I am the most fallen, it is sure to instantly get the potency of Mahaprabhu. Sure, if we are really humble and if we really feel that I am the most fallen, then the Kripa Sakti works very miraculously, wonderfully. And this is the place called as Baradanga. This is also the Bhajan Kutir of Narahari Sarkar. And we can find a banyan tree under which Lochan Das Thakur wrote Chaitanya Mangal. Abhiram Das Thakur, who is Sridham in Krishna Leela, he came here to take darshan of Raghunandan Thakur, because the glory of Raghunandan Thakur was spreading far and wide. So Abhiram Das Thakur was very curious to take darshan of Raghunandan Thakur. And Abhiram Das Thakur, when he used to offer Dandavat Pranams to any person, if they are not the Supreme Lord, then they will die. And also he used to offer pranams to Saligrama deities. And if they are not original, they crack into pieces. So when Abhiram Das Thakur came here for the love of his child, Mukunda Das hid in one of the room Raghunandan Thakur. And Abhiram Das Thakur was searching. Then out of transcendental frustration, he came here to this place, Baradanga. Somehow or other, by the will of the providence, he was able to have direct darshan of Raghunandan Thakur. Then he offered his Dandavat Pranam. Nothing happened. So he became so happy. They both danced in joy. They rolled on the dust. And then they used to have a swirling dance. And the anklet of Raghunandan Thakur, it flew from here and should be more than 10 kilometers from here. That place is called as Akai Hut. Nupur Kund, there is a place. It flew and then fell there. So we all know that like the same thing also happened to Kanai Thakur, and the same thing here with Raghunandan Thakur. So dancing It's a part of Sankirtan, and it gives ecstasy. And we can see how ecstatic both these personalities were there. And certainly, our movement is full of dance. Prabhupada used to say that in spiritual world, Goloka, Vrindavan, everyone dance. If a person feels ecstasy, then even without his knowledge, he would dance. Whether he is realizing or not realizing, he used to dance. And this is actually the highest form of joy by the ecstatic dance. So many people gathered here. And when a people dance in ecstasy, he is not aware of his surroundings. But the people who are seeing it, they can appreciate it. So such pastimes also happened here. And Lochandas Thakur also wrote Chaitanya Mangal here. And this is also the Bhajan Kutir. And we can also see some worshipable deities being kept here. And now we will be also hearing about the glorious pastime of Gauridas Pandit. He is none other than Shubal. Prabhupada, in Nectar of Devotion, he used to say that if a person is in Shakya Bhav, then he will be naturally attracted about the pastimes of Shubala. If the Swarupa Siddhi is Vatsalya Bhav, then he gets attracted by the sweet pastimes of Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda. So here Subala, he is a cowherd. And here Gauridas Pandit, his residence, Shripad, was at Shaligram, that is near Ambika Kalna. From Navadip, there is a road going to Ambika Kalna. From there, the road also goes to Panihati. And Ambika Kalna is also the place where Lord Nityananda's marriage took place. It's very intimately related to Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu. Once when Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda, after they stay at Shantipur, they cross the Ganges through the boat, and then they reached Ambika Kalna. And then both these personalities met Gauridas Pandit. This is the tamarind tree. Under this tamarind tree, Gauridas Pandit met Lord Chaitanya. They used to have intimate sweet pastime. Mahaprabhu, he used to remember how in the form of Krishna, along with Balai and also with Subala and all other cowherd boys, they used to have fun at the bank of the Yamuna. So such intimate pastimes also happened here. And Subala, he never, even for a second, gets separated from Balai. And here also, we can see that he is non-separable from Nityananda Prabhu. And also Lord Chaitanya. Gauridas Pandit Samadhi is at Vrindavan, because at the end of his lifetime, he went there. So Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, they stayed for a few days here, and they were en route to Jagannath Puri. So Subala, Gauridas Pandit requested to Mahaprabhu, you please stay here. I cannot bear a separation from your lordship. And Mahaprabhu immediately ordered a deity to be made, and he told that the replica of this deity is non-different from both of us. And then the Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, they started to walk, but Gauridas Pandit requested you should stay here. And then they became the deity, and then the deity which was made out of a neem tree, they started to walk. So such pastime happened, and then Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu came to Jagannath Puri, and this is the life-size deity, almost like 6.5 feet height, And if you want to see Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, there are many deities like Dameshwar Mahaprabhu, and also this one deity which we can see at Ambika Kalna. We can see the deity, and then they used to close the curtain like every 30 seconds, because it is a firm belief in the tradition that if the curtain is not closed, Mahaprabhu Nityananda Prabhu would jump out of the altar. And one such intimate pastime also happened like that. Gauridas Pandit, famous disciple, is Hridayananda. So there was Gaura Purnima festival to be conducted. Gauridas Pandit went out, but hardly 3 days before only he came. So due to complete anxiety, Hridayananda made invitation asking for people to come and then participate in this festival. And when this was informed to Gauridas Pandit, he had a transcendental anger with his disciple. How can you do this? So you are no more eligible, qualified to live here. Please get out of this home. Then he stayed under the bank of a banyan tree near to the Ganges. And then there was a famous big merchantman who came there to give a big donation. Hridayananda told that you please offer it to my spiritual master Gauridas Pandit, and Gauridas Pandit told that you can offer it to Hridayananda. And there was also two big festival being conducted, one at the residence of Gauridas Pandit and one under a banyan tree on the shore of the Ganges. And a huge crowd came, and there was a huge Nama Sankirtan on the shore of the Ganges. And here also, on the in the residence of Gauridas Pandit, Gaur Purnima festival was also being conducted. So while Bhoga was being offered, when Gauridas Pandit opened the screen, he found the deities missing. Then he was very angry. He took his cane stick, and then he knew that where Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu would have gone. And on a long distance, he could see Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu dancing in the program being conducted by Hridayananda. And seeing a cane stick in the hands of the Gauridas Pandit, Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, out of fear, they entered into the heart of Hridayananda. So seeing this incident, immediately Gauridas Pandit embraced Hridayananda. Since Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu entered your heart, you will be now known as Hridaya Chaitanya Das. So such intimate pastime. He used to speak with those deities. And then one day Gauridas Pandit wanted to decorate the deities with ornaments. Then immediately Gaur Nitai, they had so many jewels. So immediately instant reciprocation. And then Mahaprabhu used to speak to Gauridas Pandit. You forgot Gauridas Pandit that with the Dwadasa Gopalas and other intimate friends, how he used to have fun and entertainment on the shore of the Yamuna. Then immediately Gauridas Pandit, he went into the mood of Vrindavan. So the same personality, Subala, appeared here as Gauridas Pandit. And Nityananda Prabhu, his small father-in-law is Gauridas Pandit. Janavadevi and Vasudha, they are daughters of Suryadas Sarekal, and Gauridas Pandit is the younger brother of Suryadas Sarekal. In that way, Lord Nityananda was also very intimately related to Gauridas Pandit. So many such pastimes happened here, very, very interesting. The great spiritual master, disciple, disciplic succession like Gauridas Pandit, Hridaya Chaitanya, then Shyamananda Pandit, Rasikananda, so glorious. Now we will also hear about the glimpse of the pastimes of Rupa Goswami. He is the Abhidaya Acharya. He is the Rasikacharya. He is one of the 6 stalwart Goswamis in Vrindavan. And Mahaprabhu entrusted many sevas to Sanatan Goswami and also to Rupa Goswami, especially to excavate the hidden holy places, to write Bhakti Sastras, and also to give shelter to Gopala Bhatta Goswami, to Jiva Goswami. Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, they were completely engrossed the esoteric pastimes of Radha Krishna. And the mellows are so wonderful that Rupa Manjari, when she came as Rupa Goswami, still one is under the order of Mahaprabhu. Rupa Goswami wrote Bhakti literatures, but due to the ecstasy, they could not control the emotion and sentiment, and that is flowing through literatures like Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, and many other Bhakti Sastra. So he was able to completely comprehend the mood and sentiment of Mahaprabhu. And whatever Mahaprabhu inner mood was there, he was able to reveal it in the holy scriptures. And Mahaprabhu himself, he was astonished how Rupa Goswami was able to write these esoteric feelings that I have for Krishna. And Swarup Damodar told that you have already empowered Rupa Goswami, so he can reflect whatever is in your heart. We all know that Srila Prabhupada, he was residing at Radha Damodar temple. He was continuously praying before he took his voyage to America. And then he had a darshan of Rupa Goswami, and Rupa Goswami personally blessed Srila Prabhupada. And we all know that how Srila Prabhupada, with the blessings of Rupa Goswami, Advaita Acharya, so he came out successfully in preaching the mission of Lord Chaitanya. So the key point to note here is that prayers are very, very powerful, because generally in devotional service, there will be a lot of obstacles, and sometimes the obstacle overwhelms the sadhakas that they sometimes apparently be in a hopeless condition. But when the prayers are strong, definitely we can with 100% confidence expect the mercy of the acharyas, and that alone can sustain our devotional life. So prayers are very, very strong in our spiritual life. We have so much prayers: morning prayer, evening prayer, afternoon prayer, and chanting is also praying to Srimati Radharani. So much prayers are part of our bhakti process. Rupa Goswami, so he established the deity of Radha Govind. Radha Madan Mohan established by Sanatan Goswami, and Radha Govind established by Rupa Goswami. Krishna came in the dream of Rupa Goswami, and then we all know that how in the form of a boy, he took Rupa Goswami to a place where actually a cow was coming and then shedding milk. And then the deity spoke that I am hidden under the earth, somehow or other you should pick me up. And the deity got manifested through Rupa Goswami. Now there is the Pratibhu Murti. The original Murti is at Jaipur, Radha Govind. And Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, he also used to stay here. Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, his specific service was reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So at Sri Radha Govinda Mandir, Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami was also giving Srimad Bhagavatam class. There was also a slightly elevated seat given to Rupa Goswami, but he was completely absorbed in trance. And one Brahmana came there, and then he was astonished because the seat was slightly elevated than the speaker's seat. So Rupa Goswami was seated on an elevated platform. Then Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, who was giving Bhagavatam class. So everyone, they were rolling in joy, relishing the pastimes of Radha Krishna. And Rupa Goswami, he was completely fixed in trance. And he was seated in such a way that no one could realize what is happening to Rupa Goswami. So generally we all know that if a person is in trance, then they used to keep the swab of cotton in their nose. And some small round of cotton swab was also placed. And after Bhagavatam class was over, Rupa Goswami opened his eyes. Then immediately the cotton swab fell from his nose, but while it was falling, then immediately it caught fire. So it means that the fire of separation which Rupa Goswami was experiencing in his heart, that fire, it burnt the cotton into ashes. Like if you want to enter Vrindavan, Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, he used to say that we have to first appreciate the trees of Vrindavan, the Sarovar of Vrindavan, the dust of Vrindavan, how the plants, animals, creepers, they used to exhibit their love for Krishna. When Krishna left Vrindavan and left to Mathura and consequently to Dwaraka, the Vrajavasis, they were feeling constant tears of separation. But the trees, they were having the hope, maybe Krishna should be in Adarvana, Bandiravana, Bahulavana. He will come, he will come. They were feeling the fire of separation till Krishna came back to Vrindavan. And the trees, they are so conscious. Under Ter Kadamba, when Rupa Goswami was writing his Bhakti Sastra, especially the Nectar of Devotion, when he was writing about how Radha Krishna was feeling the fire of separation, then all the trees' leaf, it started to shed. And when he wrote how Radha Krishna, they got in union, then they blossomed with flowers and leaves. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, no, Patram Pushpam Phalam Doyam. So these trees, they offered all their leaves, all their flowers, all their fruits, and their sweating also as water to Krishna. They are completely surrendered to Krishna. And whatever Yoga Maya, Vrinda Devi plans, they act accordingly. So if Krishna wants to enjoy conjugal pastimes with gopis, then the trees come in close with each other. There will be hardly any sunlight penetrating. And then when they want to go home, then the trees move apart. So if we can appreciate how the dust of Vrindavan having the imprints of Radha Krishna and also the trees, because Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur used to say that he had so much love for Vrindavan that if you go to Vrindavan, every tree is a wish fulfilling tree, a Kalpa Vriksha tree. Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, they used to sit under a tree daily and also sleep under a tree daily. Because when Krishna along with the Gopas come, they sit under the tree, they climb on the tree, and then they hide under the tree, they give shade. And when Krishna want to rest, they shower the flowers and leaves. So how conscious are they to serve Krishna and his intimate associate? We can appreciate how every aspect of Vrindavan, because Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur stresses that if you love Krishna, then you have to love the abode of Vrindavan. And if we need to love the abode of Vrindavan, every aspect of Vrindavan, the energy, the living entities, we have to appreciate how they are constantly meditating to serve Krishna in some way or the other. This is also Radha Damodar deity. And here is the samadhi of Rupa Goswami, because Jiva Goswami established the samadhi of Rupa Goswami here, because Radha Damodar temple is the temple of Jiva Goswami. And this is Ter Kadamba, where many intimate pastime took place here. So we all chant Krishna's name, fixed number, 16 rounds or 20, 24 rounds. And what does Krishna does? In Ter Kadamba, we all know that Krishna used to assemble all the cows and calves here. And when he wanted to return to Vrindavan, he used to have his own counting bead. And then he used to call all his devotees' name. So Krishna chants devotees' name in his beads. And we chant Krishna's name in our beads. So it is mutually reciprocating. Vrindavan means a land of loving exchanges. And these pastimes are enacted so that the conditioned souls may be attracted to know that how sweet Krishna is. Madhuram Madhuram. And Krishna protects every living entity in Vrindavan. He protects all the living entities all over the universe. Especially Vrindavan, he gives complete protection. The reason is they have taken complete shelter. And in Ter Kadamba, many intimate confidential pastime also happened here. Sanatana Goswami came here to meet Rupa Goswami. Then Rupa Goswami, he wanted to give a special sweet prasad to his elder brother. Then immediately a maid servant girl came and then gave milk and also the ingredients, sugar. And then with that, Rupa Goswami made that offer to the deity and gave it to Sanatan Goswami. Sanatan Goswami, after he took this prasad, his ecstatic feeling started to increase more and more. Then he asked to Rupa Goswami, who gave you all these ingredients? And when Rupa Goswami was describing about the maid servant girl, and Sanatana Goswami realized that it is none other than Srimati Radharani. Then actually he chastised with love and affection to Rupa Goswami that we are meant only to serve Radharani and not to take service from Srimati Radharani. One more, many pastime happened because Rupa Manjari alias Rupa Goswami, Lavanga Manjari alias Sanatana Goswami, they were always engaged in the pastimes of Radha Krishna. And Rupa Goswami, he also wrote the Chatu Pushpanjali, in which he told that how Radharani is in the color of molten gold and how her dress is like a blue lotus and how her hair is like a black serpent being decorated with the jewels. So Sanatana Goswami then questioned to Rupa Goswami, but her hair being compared to a black serpent decorated with jewels, I don't know whether it is the logic is sound or you are using it as a metaphor. Then we all know that Sanatana Goswami, when he was passing through the Radha Kund, he could hear the gopis playing in the swing, and then he could see a black cobra climbing on the shoulder of a gopi, and Sanatana Goswami was shouting, black cobra, and then he was running towards that girl, and when he came near, he could see that it is none other than Srimati Radharani, and her braided hair was looking like a black cobra from the back side and also being decorated with the jewel, and immediately he came to the conclusion that whatever Rupa Goswami has written is true. And actually this gives us a hope that these great acharyas have so much love and affection for Radha Krishna, to the Shakis, especially the Madhurya Rasa. And if we follow their instruction, they have come to this material world only to give highest love for Krishna. Krishna wears yellow dhoti, Pitambar, because he is always meditating on the golden form of Radharani. So he wears the dress which is golden in color. And Radharani always mostly wears the cloth which is bluish black in color, because she is always meditating on Krishna's form. And even while addressing the deity, the Acharya say that these pastimes are eternal, and the Acharyas, they also dress Krishna with yellow dhoti and also Radharani's garment, which is bluish in color. And Radharani, whenever she sees Yamuna, she immediately thinks of Krishna. And same with Krishna. So for Krishna, wherever he wanders in Vrindavan, he always remembers Radharani, and Radharani, wherever she wanders, she constantly thinks of Krishna only. And Rupa Goswami, being the Rasatattva Acharya, Rasika Acharya, he has written many books. And just by reading those literatures, we can appreciate how deep is this love for Krishna. It is like a deep ocean. We can understand that even if we float on the surface of the ocean, how it can perfect our life. So many such pastimes happened with Rupa Goswami. And Prabhupada says that we are all Rupanugas. We are all following in the footsteps of Rupa Goswami. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he stresses that our goal is not to become a hero. Our goal is to become a speck of dust at the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami. And Vrindavan for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Vrindavan means the 6 Goswamis. Navadip means Panchatattva. So for us, it is only Panchatattva and the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. And they have written many Bhakti Shastra, because actually nourishment of Bhakti happens in the association of devotees. And Shastra is also satsang. So when we read scriptures, we can nourish our Bhakti. Even a person who is in the Bhava level, he can nourish his Bhakti only in the association of devotees. So for the hopeless, fallen, conditioned souls, Rupa Goswami has written many Shastra. Even one lifetime is not sufficient. But if we follow the key instruction given to us, and then begging for the lotus feet dust, surely we are sure to attain perfection because Mahaprabhu has empowered such personalities. And then we will be also hearing about the glorious pastimes of Vamshidas Babaji Maharaj. Vamshidas Babaji Maharaj, he was also born in Bangladesh. As I used to say earlier, many of the acharyas took their birth at Bangladesh. He took his birth at Majidpur. Then he shifted his residence from East Bengal, I mean the present day Bangladesh, to Navadvip. And then he was worshipping his deities, Gaur, Nitai, Gadadhar, and also Gopal deity. So he was in speaking terms with the deities, and whenever he wants to go outside, he used to give 3 sets of keys, one to Mahaprabhu, one to Nityananda Prabhu, one to Gadadhar Pandit, and he never locks his house. And if something is stolen, he used to scold the deities. And like that, actually 2 brass pots were stolen. And then Vamshidas Babaji scolded Gaur Nitai deities. If you are not bringing your pot, then you will not be getting food. Then immediately the person who stole the brass pot of Nitai, he came and then delivered that. Then Vamshidas Babaji gave bhog to Nitai, and he told to Mahaprabhu, if your brass pot is not coming, you have to fast today. Then after some time, that person also came and then gave the brass pot. He was in speaking terms, he was also in an elevated level, but his level of action was not comprehensible to the devotees. That's why Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to advise that better not go near Vamshidas Babaji Maharaj, or else you will commit offense. And Vamshidas Babaji gave few instructions, and one of the instructions which he gave personally, if some person comes and then asks for instruction, he used to say that if you offend an Vaishnava, you cannot certainly save your bhakti. He had so much of transcendental loving pastimes with the Gaur Nitai deity, and then once some gold necklace of the deity was stolen, and he continuously scolded Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu in the deity form for many hours. Then he got a hint where the necklace was stolen, and he then went to that person's house and demanded it. But he refuted, and he also pushed Vamshidas Babaji. Then by the will of the providence, the person who stole the necklace, he died along with his family. That's the problem, because when he scolded a Vaishnava and the Vaishnava remains humble and he doesn't retaliate, counteract it, then it is actually a problem for the person who has scolded. And certainly they are all exalted devotees. And Vamshidas Babaji, he not only lived a life of renunciation, he lived a life how just by avoiding the worldly people, one can be completely absorbed in the pastimes of Radha Krishna. Actually, Paramahamsa Babaji, their behavior, no one can predict. And certainly we can see in the pastimes of Vamshidas Babaji, how Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur warned his disciple. And one disciple went to have darshan of Vamshidas Babaji. He told that if you really want my kripa, better don't come and meet me. And his worshipable deities, Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhar, and Gopal deities are still, we can see at Poladvip, at Navadvip. Vamshidas Babaji, Bhajan Kutir is there. And he also traveled to Vrindavan. You can see most of the acharyas, like Jagannadas Babaji, then Bhakti Vinoda Thakur, Gaura Kishora Dasa Babaji Maharaj, and also Vamshidas Babaji, and many other acharyas. They also lived in Vrindavan for a considerable amount of time. but they revealed their love for Krishna at Navadip Dham. So actually in Kali Yuga, Navadip Dham is a place where every sadhaka has to take up the residence. The goal is Vrindavan, there is no doubt on that. And certainly taking shelter of Navadip Dham gives one complete shelter to take up a permanent residence at Vrindavan Dham. And also about the Julan Yatra. So after, we all know that Akshaya Tritiya day, very hot, so sandalwood paste are all smeared over the Lord's body. Then Snana Yatra, cool water. Then this monsoon season, the humidity is very high. So the gopis, they used to play with Radha Krishna in a swing festival so that they can get a cool breeze because the air is very humid due to monsoon season. Gopis, they are very expert in making swing because in corporate world, we all know that the key position requires multitasking talents. And all these multitasking talents are in Vrindavan, especially with the Gopas and the Gopis. So the swing festival, it gives joy to the devotees, and devotees give joy to Radha Krishna. So they are very, very expert how to build a swing under the branch of the tree. We can see even in Panihati, Raghava Pandit, in his residence, there was a swing under a lemon tree where Radha Krishna used to come and then swing. And then Raghava Pandit, when he was a small boy, he could see the pastime of Radha Krishna playing with them, and Raghava Pandit's father also, Radha Krishna came, and then they had a swing festival. Swing, actually it means a festival. Whatever pastimes is happening in the spiritual world, Prabhupada used to say that I am giving it as a festival. Generally after this Pavitra Ekadasi till Balaram Jayanti, the 5 days festival is there. But actually it is an eternal festival. Krishna loves to swing with his dear Gopi, Srimati Radharani. And especially the Gopis and also all the Priya Narma Shakis along with the Manjaris, they used to make this swing in such a way that Radha and Krishna are placed in front of each other so that Krishna can see the face of Radharani and Radharani can see the face of Krishna. And then Radharani, in a shy mode, she would not climb the swing, but Krishna gives assurance. Gopis also gives assurance. We will only push the swing slowly, so there will not be any fear. And then Radharani would climb the swing. Slowly, the Gopis would be swinging, and within no time, Krishna, using his leg, he used to swing in a speedily way, and sometimes the speed goes on in such an extent that it may, Radharani was fearing that it may make a complete circle up of the tree and then coming down. And Krishna made this true. At that time, Srimati Radharani tightly embraced the neck of Krishna as if Krishna only could save her life. And then seeing this scene, generally the Gopis and the Manjaris, they used to clap their hands, and then their ecstasy also goes on increasing. Because actually Manjaris, they never desire even a tiny part to directly enjoy with Krishna. They only want to see the divine couple Radha Krishna kept in union. And that too, when Radharani takes complete shelter of Krishna while this swinging is happening, it gives more joy to the Shakis as well as to the Manjaris. So many such things happen, and then these pastimes are only to give fun and entertainment to gopis and manjaris. And for gopis and manjaris, they want to see Srimati Radharani. That's why mostly when these pastimes are happening, the reflection happens. Radharani's complexion is taken by the Pitambar, which Krishna wears, and the complexion of Krishna is reflected by the dress Radharani wears. I remember one time Tamal Krishna Maharaj, once he saw Radha Krishna deity wonderfully being decorated, and then he asked the person who decorated the deity, he told that when you enter the spiritual world with the same dress how you have decorated Radha Krishna, they will appear to invite you. Many such incidents also is also happening in our present ISKCON society, where we can come to the conclusion that the Siddhanta given by Srila Prabhupada is the highest, because Madhurya Rasa is very sweet. And even in Madhurya Rasa, love for gopis is given by these great acharyas to us through the holy name, which Mahaprabhu has distributed through the Sakti, through the Bhakti Sakti of the great Vaishnava acharyas. And Rupa Goswami, he also came here to Radhakund, and he witnessed a similar pastime. There is an old tamarind tree, because in his Rupa Manjari form, he could see immediately Radha Krishna gopis coming, and then under a tamarind tree, a swing was immediately made, and then how Radha Krishna sat in front of each other, and then the gopis were swinging, and then this fun was continuing, and immediately when Radharani finally took shelter of Krishna, and when the swing came to a halt, then suddenly the scene disappeared. This was also witnessed by Rupa Goswami. So we can be confident that by taking shelter of Rupa Goswami, we are sure to attain the service of Radha Krishna. The service of Radha Krishna means those who are doing direct devotional service, we are there to facilitate them. So Raghunandan Thakur, how his devotion to Krishna was overflowing, and how Rupa Goswami's love to Radha Krishna was overflowing, and how Gauridas Pandit to Mahaprabhu deity was overflowing, because if we want to attain the lotus feet of Radha Krishna, we have to seek the shelter of Mahaprabhu. If we want to take shelter of Mahaprabhu, we have to seek the shelter of Nityananda Prabhu. And if we want to seek the shelter of Nityananda Prabhu, we have to take the shelter of these great Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas. And Julan festival, Prabhupada used to say that I can give you every day a festival. And in ISKCON, there are many festivals in the Vaishnava calendar. And even taking Mangalarati, honoring Prasad, reading scriptures, the loving association of devotees, especially the swing festival, Radha Yatra, Janmashtami. Many festivals are there. So it gives joy to the devotees, the sense that it's only an opportunity. Actually, everywhere people speak about opportunity. Grab this opportunity, whether it is business or any material endeavor. And here, the acharyas also, through their scriptures and their teachings and through their exemplary life, they are giving opportunity to the conditioned souls. If you follow the devotional practices, you are sure to attain that. And the opportunity to serve Krishna eternally is given by these great acharyas in this Kali Yuga, because opportunity comes once, and then it also comes to an end in this material world. But these great acharyas are giving us an opportunity where our service to Krishna will be permanent and eternally fixed. So we can humbly pray at the lotus feet of these great acharyas to give their mercy, to give a speck of dust to give a tiny drop of love which they have for Krishna. Surely, by following their footsteps, by their mercy, by their mercy, by their mercy, by their mercy, our life can become successful in this lifetime. Hare Krishna. Thank you. So if you have any comments or realization, you are free to share.
Danvat Pranam Prabhuji, Pralandas from Las Vegas, and please accept my humble obeisances. Regarding Raghunandan Acharya's one famous saying is that, he worshipped Nanda Maharaj because Bhagavan Krishna was playing in his courtyard. There is a,
yes.
So I've forgotten that, so I was just asking.
Yeah.
What was that, Karcha, or I cannot locate that. Do you know that?
So Raghunandan Thakur, being Pradyumna, he was a staunch lover of Radha and Krishna.
Right.
And because if you want to love Krishna, it means that the natural love for Yashoda Maya and Nanda Maharaj also flows. So the Sri part at Sri Kanda, where Narahari Sarkar, Mukunda Das, Madhava Das, these three transcendental brothers lived there along with Raghunandan Thakur. There are many deities being kept in and around Sri part of Narahari Sarkar, where these deities are still being worshipped.
Thank you, Hari.
Okay, I hope.
Hare Krishna, very nice class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for such a wonderful pastimes of all the acharyas, and it's only by their mercy we can attain Lord Sri Radha Madhav. Thank you so much for that wonderful class. And devotees, any realizations or comments or questions, please go ahead. If not, we shall. Yeah, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, please go ahead.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम। श्री प्रभुपाद श्री गुरुदेव की जय, श्री राधा गोपीनाथ की जय, श्री राम वृंदावन धाम की जय। प्रभु जी, every time you take us in a dham, Sri Chaitanya Leela and Sri Ram Vrindavan Dham, Sri Mayapur Dham, although we are not qualified to enter that the big choti Srimati Sri Radharani has, and that is that Leela, and we should not engage Srimati Sri Radharani for Seva. Sanatana Goswami told to Raghunandan Das Goswami about the sweet kheer and all the Leelas and all the pastime. Prabhuji, learning so many things from you. Some Leelas we are entering Dham so many times by Srila Prabhupada Mercy, our Guru Parampara Bhakti Devi Tulsi Maharani, but still we don't know, Prabhuji, and we learn from you each and every time new Leelas and Srimati Sri Radharani's service and Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami's mood and our Acharya and six Goswamis how they serve Srila Prabhupada, Sri Radha Gopinath, Srimati Sri Radharani, and Sri Ram Vrindavan Dham. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam to your sincere seva. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Gopinath ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam for taking us in a dham, Prabhu. Hari Hari.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Guru Gauranga.
Thank you, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Shuka Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. A beautiful class. I just had one question. Prabhu, you said Srimati Radharani, she reflects the Pitambar, so she has that golden complexion. And you said Krishna also, reflects from Srimati Radharani's outfit. So I was wondering, so does she wear blue, or what? I was not clear on, what you meant by that. Can you please elaborate, Prabhu? Thank you so much.
Yeah, generally, like Krishna, his eternal form and his eternal dress is Pitambar. Pitambar is yellow in color. because Radharani has a golden complexion. Wherever Krishna wanders, he is completely absorbed in the form of Radharani and also the complexion of Srimati Radharani. So the Acharyas comments that reflection Krishna is carrying. The same with Srimati Radharani, because Krishna's body is blackish blue. So her clothes generally, if you see, her upper garments and also the skirt, she used to wear blue cloths because she is completely immersed in thoughts of Krishna. So she takes the cloth color of Krishna's color. Because I think one time Radha Govind Maharaj also, he visited a disciple's house. The deity was Radha Krishna was dressed in different color, and he told that this is the Siddhanta behind that. Krishna always meditating on Srimati Radharani, taking golden cloth color, and Srimati Radharani meditating on Krishna's form and taking the color of Krishna's color. That's why even the sky blue, the sky is also bluish color because it reflects the effulgence emanating from Lord Krishna's body. So they used to wear different cloths with the different colors, but their favorite dress color is yellow pitambara for Krishna and blackish blue garments for Srimati Radharani. But they used to wear different cloth color, but their favorite cloth is like Hare Krishna.
Jai, so beautiful, Prabhuji. Thank you for that. And I was also thinking when you were saying regarding the outfit colors, like I think in the Nectar of Devotion it's mentioned that on the altar we should not wear red or blue. I'm not sure if I recall right. So do you know?
That is for devotees, not for deities.
Yeah, for devotees. So is there a reason for that, Prabhuji?
No, actually, red and blue, actually that color is what we can say is so reflective, very, very dark. No, actually, we should wear, generally it is recommended to wear light colored clothes than dark colored clothes, because whenever blue, red clothes are being worn, it immediately takes the attention of others in temple hall, especially the center of attraction is Radha and Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Oh, okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. And very beautiful class as always. We always look forward to your, yatras and parikramas. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Shukamataji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. There are appreciations for you on the chat. So everyone has told that the class is very nice with lots of mercy, and Tiffany Mataji is saying thank you for sharing such pastimes, and Yashomati Mataji is also saying the same. All are saying the same. Prabhuji, thank you so much. And devotees, if no more questions or realizations, let's end the call here. Let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your valuable time and association. Please come again in future to give such a wonderful parikrama with all the
Kripa Sindhu
Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrindi ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, His Holiness Jivana Gaur Hari Prabhuji Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank
you so much.
Radhe.
Radhe. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everyone, for joining today's class. We'll meet you.